So much love and appreciation to those of you who have been with me for the 2 year period plus that I've been doing this. Thank you for showing your love and support to the channel. And to anybody else who is brand new to the platform and you would like to support the channel, also, you can do it by way of Patreon, Anchor, the clothing store, and also the shoe shop that is listed in the comment description below. And again, thank you to any and all of you guys who have been here to support this channel during the 2+ year period. I wouldn't be able to do what I do every single day without you. So this is where we are at this current moment in time, right? So the title that I put there, I just, put that just because, right? Because you got a lot of different narratives, a lot of different things basically taking place, right? So there was a video that ended up going viral that showed three, right, New Yorkers, or in this specific case, as most people would want to call it to be, right, you would have three black men who are viewed to, right, or seems to be, right, or alleged, right, that they assaulted this Asian man for clearly no reason at all, right? When you happen to see the image, you see a black man basically holding the guy. He looks to be sleeping at this moment in time. And that's basically how it's, in a sense, being set up. That's how it's going, right? But when you look to the left, it says rough justice. New Yorkers are filmed battering man on New York subway platform after he tried to go after a girl on the train, right? But then, oddly enough, right, a platform that is quote unquote advocating, right, to stop the hate is stating this to the right. They said a group of men attack a man in New York subway. The victim looks to be Asian, asking for the public's help in identifying the attackers and having them arrested. One man is holding the defenseless man as another punches him. New York subways are not safe. Video sent by follower, right? So this is the two different narratives that we have. One by news, the other one by Twitter, right? So the interesting thing is we're going to go into what it is that the police stated. And it's from the New York Police Department. Quote, over the weekend, it was brought to our attention that an alleged incident took place, and the suspect, who was being seen slapped and assaulted in a now viral video, has resulted in racially tinged false rumors and narratives claiming it was an anti-Asian hate crime, or social media posts claiming he was randomly beaten for being an Asian/Chinese immigrant. Just for clarification, this is not accurate and is completely false. This was not an Asian hate crime, and the man in the video is not a Chinese immigrant. The narrative is completely fabricated internet rumor. First off, when authorities were called to the scene, the man was described by the bystanders and people involved as a Hispanic/Puerto Rican male in his early 40s and not an Asian man. So there was never any indication that there was Asian or the man involved that he was an Asian man to begin with. The incident actually happened over the weekend, but recently went viral after a hip hop website called Ground.com and their Twitter account called Grindface TV broke the story on May 27th. The man seen being assaulted in the viral video is believed to be homeless and has a prior history, pay attention, of assaults, substance abuse, and mental health related issues. He tried to attack and do more things to an underage girl in a subway station. A high-profile right-wing Instagram blogger posted and then sent a deceptively edited 15-second clip of the incident to several different outlets on Twitter with absolutely no context. If you listen to the full unedited video, the men are telling him not to touch, go after, and yet again go after the young girl or girls. Absolutely nothing about race, the Asian race, or any racial slurs are used at all. Bystanders in the video restrained him until subway security arrived on the scene. MTA security notes the attempted victim told securities that the individual in the video appears to be having a mental health breakdown at the time of the attempted assault. She didn't want to move forward with the charges and instead just wanted him to get professional help. The man also did not inform subway security of the assault he got from bystanders in the video before they arrived on the scene by the bystanders and didn't file any report. We are assuming out of fear he could later be charged for his own actions. So neither of these three parties moved forward with filing an official police report for any of these incidences and decided to go their separate ways after the matter was resolved. The NYPD was not aware that he had been assaulted by the male bystanders who held and restrained him before security arrived and detained him. The police department is now investigating the incident. Since the attempted incident, right, the suspect is refusing to come forward and be cooperative with authorities, the Asian Hate Crimes Task Force is now asking any individuals who on the video to contact him so that they can verify his ethnicity for themselves and get more information and context about this before officially closing this case out and moving on. However, no charges have been filed against any of the male bystanders at this time. The investigation remains ongoing. Even with this, you still had this Twitter handler, right, come through with this unknown, random, unverified post from Reddit, right? He said, plot twist. Another guy says he is a witness too, and that the Asian guy was trying to stop the black men from assaulting a woman. The story has so many twists and turns, right? So then we go to the post by stating, I actually got there before, right before the person that tweeted this walked up, and what actually happened was that the guy beating up the Asian guy were the ones assaulting, right? The girl and the Asian guy walked up to try to stop them, and they stepped back, making it look like it was the Asian guy doing the assaulting. And then when the tweeter walked up, they started beating him up to make the story more believable. You can now use this comment as proof when people ask what happened, because people don't ever go and make things up on the internet.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So as you can clearly see, people directly bought into this troll. How do I know that people in a sense bought directly into this troll? These are just some of the comments here. I'm going to stand by my original statement. Ain't no Asian guy attempting an incident. Asians are good people. Low probability. That's not the Asian way. Those guys who are telling you this ish are saying without evidence, trying to game you. Good job for catching this racist black-skinned people. We need to stop the racism of them against non-black skinned people. Whenever racism gets out of control on either side, we get the information. Animal attack, not civil. They still committed a criminal act. They still need to serve time in jail. What they should have done is call the cops. Quote, I do not care for what alleged crime, and if allowed by law to detain only, not attack. Now for this one, pay attention to the woman that is directly in the picture with him, and he goes by stating, yeah, upstanding citizens. Racist POS is what they all are. Next person. Is that their excuse, was it? Maybe someone should grab one of your family members and dish out a little street justice and see how you like it. I think your attitude might be a little different. Hashtag all lives matter. Now, people need to pay attention. The police department literally stated that the victim did not want to come forward, obviously because of what took place. She is obviously uncomfortable. She is obviously embarrassed. She does not feel safe, right? So she's like, you know what? I just want the guy to go get the help that he needs, right? And that's usually what happens with a lot of victims. They don't necessarily want to come forward because they have a fear of retaliation. They have a fear that police and, and such are not going to do their jobs properly in order to protect the victim from the perpetrator, right? And then the Asian man here who was seen, right, being having street justice, take place, he didn't want to file anything as well. He didn't say anything. He didn't even mention it to the security when they came up. That seems a little bit suspicious if you ask me, because normally if a person, right, is basically attacked, right, assaulted, right, by three individuals, they're normally going to speak up and they're going to say something. Why? Because they don't want the same thing to happen. They want at least one of the perpetrators, or at least all of them, right, to be apprehended so that justice can occur, so that the streets are safe from these individuals. But yet again, that's not what took place. And then the police also stated yet again that the three men are not going to, at this moment in time, they're not charged with any types of crimes, right? And yet again, let's go back over the main reason why they stated that as well. They stated that due to the fact, right, that the man is homeless, he has also committed some assaults, and he has done a variety of other things as well. So it's not like this guy doesn't have a history. It's not like he doesn't have a record. But yet, when you have other individuals that want to spin a narrative to try to show black men or men who appear to be black in a negative type of light in order to generalize all black men out here, in order to further push out the narrative that black people, and especially black men, right, dislike or have some type of disdain or hatred for the Asian community. This is what they like to do. They want to get out on social media. They want to make these small little clips, and without any type of context, without knowing any type of background or anything dealing with the actual story, having any type of bystander or witness statements, they're going to push a narrative out there. And the other people who are there, they're going to look at it as like, yo, look at these black guys just randomly attacking this Asian guy, and that becomes the narrative. So like I said before, this is why it is very imperative, it is very important for black people to pay very close attention to the things that are being said, and even more attention to the things that are not being stated. Because like I said before, if it was up to the judge, jury, and executioners of, the people online, then these black men would not even be in existence at this moment in time. They would have found these black men, they would have found where they lived, and they would have did whatever it is that they wanted to do. And then later on, after the truth would have actually came to light, guess what? None of those people would have been apprehended. Those people wouldn't have cared, because they would still feel that they're justified, and they would feel that any evidence that comes after this is just because, right? So, like I said, I'm waiting to hear, more information directly on this. If any information happens to come up any further, I will make sure to, do an update video to let you guys know.